the fence.
Oh, and a goal.
Walking in front of him, he's inside the 10.
Oh, blocked from behind.
But off the glass, no problem at all.
Fifth, one for the cradle.
Got locked up.
One guy that's got an angle on it, and he cuts back on it.
Dead ball. That couldn't grab a ball. He's fly to right field against the wind. It's out of here.
Buries it. We're tied at 19.
ICRC-TV Sports is pleased to present a special edition of High School Hoops. Tonight, it's the Cincinnati Division II District Final, pitting the Roger Bacon Spartans against the Bellbrook Golden Eagles. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm Glenn Olson. I'm joined by my partner, the pride of Reading High School, Frankie Edwards. Coach, should be a pretty good game tonight. Bellbrook, a long tradition of winning in their program. Roger Bacon, Coach Jacob Chessman turned things around the last couple years. I think it's going to be a good game.
Right. Well, when you make it this far, I say all teams are good. They've had to do something good to get this far, to get to the district championship. So every team has something to play for. They all want to make it to state. So it should be a great one here in Macy.
For the Spartans, are one of our home communities out of St. Bernard. They come into this game 9-11 overall. Jacob Chessman 30-17 overall. He was an assistant on the boys team before taking over the girls team at the beginning of last year. After 8 straight losing seasons, the Spartans have now had 2 straight winning seasons. They went one and done last year in the tournament. Now they've made a nice run so far this year. They've won the Cincinnati 1 sectional to advance to this game. So far they have, in the tournament, they beat Taft 58-29 back on February the 20th and beat Northwest 60-46 on February 26th.
Right. Well, that's something that Hill has had on to, changing the culture and, make, girls that play in the area want to play for somebody that's a winner.
Some players to keep an eye on. Number 11, Lyric Harris. She's a 6-foot sophomore. She's 5th in the GCL co-ed in scoring at 12.6 points a game. 3rd in assists, 3.2 assists per game. 3rd in blocks with a block and a half a game. Kaylee Sunders, number 1, wears jersey number 1. She's a 5'6" senior guard, 4.4 assists per game. And Clarissa Craig, wears number 40. She's a 6'1" freshman.
Wow.
A freshman.
It's been the story of the tournament. I've seen a lot even on the boys' side especially, and the girls. In Division III on the other side is CCD. They only had 1 senior on their team, and it was freshman that carried the team. So that freshman class is going to be a big class, I'll say, here in a few years in Cincinnati. Yeah,
Craig shooting 50% from the field. She's averaging just about 8 rebounds a game and 1.5 blocks a game. For the Bellbrook Golden Eagles, maybe unfamiliar to a lot of our Cincinnati area viewers, they play in the Southwestern Buckeye League. Head coach Jason Tencher, who you see on your screen right now, is in his 14th year at the helm of the Bellbrook program. They were 2nd in the Southwestern Conference of the Southwest Buckeye League this year, behind Valley View. Valley View beat them twice in the regular season by a combined 5 points. But in tournament play the other night, Bellbrook got their revenge and really took it to Valley View pretty hard.
Right.
Held them without a field goal in the game until there was about 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
So they definitely take pride in their defense for sure.
Right. So we think it's going to be a great game. Some players to look out for from Bellbrook. Number 21, Cassidy Hofacker. She's a 5'7" senior guard. She leads the SWBL with 4.6 assists per game and 4.3 steals a game. And also number 23, Becca Vine. She's a 5'8" senior guard. She's tied for 3rd in the SWBL with 3.4 steals per game. Becca wears jersey number 23.
They both have a common opponent from looking over their schedules. They both played Carroll. And I believe Roger Bacon lost to Carroll by 10 and Bellbrook beat Carroll by 3. You can't sometimes look. I just look back to see their schedules to see familiar opponents, so we should be in for a good one.
Bellbrook's tournament so far, they beat Thurgood 59-14. Chaminade Julienne in a close game, another common opponent out of the GCL, 68-64, and then the aforementioned Valley View game, 53-45. They led that game 22-10 at half after falling in the regular season in the first game, 47-42 on December 2nd, and just 51-50 on January the 11th. Excuse me. So the Bellbrook Golden Eagles did lose out on winning a 3rd consecutive league title due to those 2 losses to Valley View, but definitely a tradition of excellence up there. They have 17 SWBL titles in their career, 14 in the last 18 years. So they know how to play a little basketball up in the SWBL. Your officials for tonight's game are going to be Rick Fisher, Brett Barnes, and Dan Holland. The winner of this game will advance to a game in Springfield later this upcoming week.
We'll play the winner of the Franklin Carroll game.
Yeah,
it's following this game.
And that's going to take place, as Frankie said, right after this game here at Mason High School. The opening game of this triple header tonight saw Tippecanoe dominate Goshen out of Claremont County 51-36, but Goshen had made a surprise run, and congratulations to the Lady Warriors who exceeded expectations with their tournament run this year. Starters tonight, first for the Bellbrook Golden Eagles, number 21, Cassidy Hofacker. She's a senior 5'7" guard. Number 23, Becca Vine. She's a senior 5'8" guard. Number 30, Kayla Paul. She's a sophomore, 5'10" guard. Number 33, Brooklyn Hall. She's a sophomore, 5'8" guard. And the center, number 44, Sierra Ferguson. She's a 5'9" senior. For the Roger Bacon Spartans, number 1, Kaylee Sunder. She's a 5'6" senior guard. For number 5, Ava Caldwell. She's a 5'7" senior forward. Number 11, Lyra Karras. She's a sophomore, 5'11" forward. Number 24, Kelly Brenner. She's also a sophomore guard at 5'8". And number 40, Clarissa Craig, the freshman, 6'2", officially on the roster. Just finishing up the Roger Bacon introductions. A good crowd on hand here at the Mason Arena. First time I've had the privilege of calling a game here at Mason Arena. So
Mine too.
We're courtside. We've got a great view of the action and looking forward to bringing you this game on ICRC-TV Sports. One more introduction to get done and we'll get underway with basketball. Bellbrook will be in the black jerseys tonight. Roger Bacon in the white uniforms. Bellbrook will be moving for the first half from left to right across from screen. And conversely, Roger Bacon moving right to left. And there we have the final introduction for the Spartans with Clarissa Craig, the freshman, 6'2" already as a freshman, and looks from here like she may have grown in it since they put the roster together at the beginning of the season. She definitely looks a little bit taller than 6'2". Should be tipping off against Sierra Ferguson for the Golden Eagles. She's a senior at 5'9", as I mentioned a moment ago. So just about set here for a special edition of High School Hoops on ICRC-TV Sports.
So important these first few minutes because, you know, some girls have nerves, and even on the boys' side, you know, just getting out here and playing strong because you want to get off to a good start in that first quarter.
Well, and for these seniors, they know it's win or go home. Bellbrook controls the opening tip, and they put it into the hands of Cassidy Hofacker, who's going to get the offense going.
Roger Bacon starts out man-to-man defense.
Quick three ball goes up and through the hoop. That one was put down by number 33, Brooklyn Hall.
Nice shot.
Off and running, 3-0 for the Golden Eagles. Here come the Lady Spartans. Shot just inside three-point line is nothing but air for Lyra Karras. Bellbrook quickly back down the floor, up and off the glass. It will not go, but rebounded by the Golden Eagles. They kick things out and reset the offense a little bit. Boy, Bellbrook plays quick, don't they, Frank?
Yeah, they're wanting to get up and go. Nice
Drive in and kiss off the glass, as Frankie said, for Kayla Paul. Give her 2 points. 5-0. Still in the first minute of play here from Mason High School. Three-pointer, baseline drive, shot goes up, will not fall for Kelly Brenner. Bellbrook quickly back down the floor. A prayer, nope, they're going to call a charge. That was Brooklyn Hall.
Big play. Sometimes you need to have a big defensive play to get you off the schneid sometimes because I've always believed it. Defense wins championships.
So an aggressive drive into the paint results in a charge and thus a turnover. So you see a shot of Brooklyn Hall, the sophomore guard.
Like you said, though, Glenn, Bellbrook's definitely looking to get it and go on a made or a missed basket on transition.
Well, we know they can play good basketball, obviously, based on their record this year. There's a deep three-pointer that's going to go up, and it will not fall for Jalen Jackson.
That was a good box out there, but a nice tip out by Roger Bacon.
Roger Bacon having all kinds of trouble on that baseline drive. That shot won't go in for Brenner, and there's a foul called underneath.
Wow.
So that's going to go against Roger Bacon. Foul is on Clarissa Craig. She picks up her first foul on the team's first of the game. So the scoreboard now correctly displaying 1 foul for each team. It had 2 a moment ago. I guess they were anticipating a Bellbrook foul too there on that Spartan possession. Shot goes up from just inside three-point land and falls through.
You don't blame her. I mean, they were sagging off her like she couldn't shoot. She said, I'll show you I can shoot.
Cassidy Hofacker, nearly a steal. Roger Bacon's able to hang on to it, but very aggressive defense right at the timeline.
Yeah, Bellbrook's really came out ready to play so far.
Lyric Harris able to hang on to it and gets it over to Clarissa Craig. Craig's going to kick it back up top to Sunders. Sunders gets tipped from behind, and that's going to be a reach-in foul.
The old alumni defense, they call it.
Becca Vine will pick up foul number 1 for Bellbrook. That'll be the team's second. A substitution for the Spartans. Kylie Shepard, freshman guard's going to check in. So an early youth movement here for Coach Chessman.
Yep, Roger Bacon has her cut out for him. This Bellbrook team, they like to get it and go.
Roger Bacon's going to have to make use of a bench tonight to keep up this frenetic pace of play. Good ball movement, three-point shot goes up, falls through for Kylie Shepard. She makes an impact coming off the bench right away, Frankie.
That was a nice shot, especially when they switched to that zone there.
Approaching the 5:30 mark of the opening quarter now. 4-point deficit, Golden Eagles in charge. Baseline drive, but good defense underneath by Clarissa Craig. Just having a body in the way prevented that shot from getting put up.
She got lucky there too because it was great recovery defense. Nice skip pass.
Feed inside to Shepard. And a jump ball. Alternating possession, it'll stay with the Spartans. 5:16, still a 4-point deficit. Roger Bacon looking to overcome. Roger Bacon, of course, one of the ICRC communities in St. Bernard, able to inbound it under some pressure.
Nice
spin move into paint, and that's going to be a foul on Craig as she got the elbow up.
Well, that's so important when you're on defense.
Oh no, a block.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If she'd have went down, they're going to call that a charge. Sometimes you gotta act it all the way out.
Sierra Ferguson picks up her first.
Tough
A
shot.
bit of a desperation heave by Lyric Harris in the paint. Bellbrook rebounds quickly down into their offensive half court. Man, good ball movement.
Yeah.
Three-point shot goes up from the left side and falls through. That's Brooklyn Hall.
That's her second three
Yeah.
so far. You can tell she can shoot.
Gonna have to make an adjustment to keep a body on her. There's a drive in the paint and a whistle. That's gonna be a blocking foul. So Roger Bacon is getting the calls here early. That foul will go on number 30, Kayla Paul. That'll be her first, the team's fourth. So definite advantage so far, 14 fouls for the Golden Eagles, just 1 for the Spartans.
Bellbrook does a great job on ball reversal. Just a replay here.
First free throws off the back iron, no good.
But the last few possessions, you can see how crisp Bellbrook is on offense by just how well they move the ball around.
Ava Caldwell and Jalen Jackson check into the game for Roger Bacon. It's a 7-point deficit for the Spartans, 10-3, 4:48 remaining. Shepard remains at the free throw line trying to convert the back end, and she does. 4 points in the game unofficially for Shepard now. She's got all 4 of Bacon's points. Bacon starting to make some defensive adjustments, Frankie, but there comes another three-point shot up, nothing but air. After the tip, Roger Bacon trying to get through that press, which they do.
Looks like they're coming out to trap them. Someone's got to be open. You got to demand the ball when your guy leaves you.
Trying to feed that inside to Clarissa Craig, and they're successful. 2 points for her. Deficit down to 4. Roger Bacon's going to be a little more aggressive now on defense with Shepard coming out to guard the point guard as she crosses the timeline.
Steal, nice job.
Yep, turnover underneath. Bacon with a chance to cut it deficit even closer. There's the freshman Shepard. She's going to kick it back out. Good ball movement
Nice.
on the perimeter. A fake. Jackson's going to drive in. Shot won't fall, easily rebounded by the Golden Eagles.
Look how quickly they get it up the floor as soon as we miss basket. Bellbrook does a great job in transition.
It's going to be a foul on Ava Caldwell down on the baseline drive. That'll be her first. Mass substitutions now. Meriden Freudenschutz checks in for Bellbrook. There you see Sierra Ferguson taking a seat. Also checking in was Olivia Greathouse, who's standing up at the top of the key. Freudenschutz wearing jersey number 4. You just saw passes the ball over to the left side. Roger Bacon defense giving him a little bit of trouble. Feed inside. Freudenschutz, three-pointer. Off the mark, won't go. Rebounded underneath on a foul.
Wow. It looks like her own player bumped her, but she got a foul out of it.
So Greathouse went up underneath. Lyric Harris picks up her first foul of the game. It's going to send Greathouse to the free throw line, shooting right into the Roger Bacon student section, clad in camo tonight, and that first free throw won't go.
Sometimes you just got to take your time, take a deep breath. You know, sometimes I've always seen it when a player's up there, when they go up there quick, you know, more chances than none, you're not going to make that shot.
Freudenschutz and Hofacker were brought over by Coach Tenscher for some instructions. The second free throw won't fall either. Deficit holds at 4 for the Spartans, and they're quickly back down in their offensive half of the court.
Falling back into that zone defense. Tough shot.
Boy, it's
offensive.
We knew it was going to be a physical game underneath, and it's been a whistle fest thus far.
Yeah, we've already got 4 fouls apiece, and we're only halfway through the first quarter.
So that's going to go on Lyric Harris. That'll be foul number 2 on her, while tied up at 14 fouls apiece. Bellbrook will get the ball underneath the Roger Bacon basket. 3:10 to go in the opening quarter here for Mason High School. This special edition of High School Hoops Division II District Final girls basketball. Freudenschutz nearly lost the handle on it that time.
Gonna get a double.
And they're gonna get a double dribble on her. So the Roger Bacon defense pays off. Turnover. Bacon will get the ball right in front of their own bench and in front of Coach Chessman. Handling the inbounding duties will be Kelly Brenner. He's gonna hand it over to Shepard to bring the ball down and get it started. There you see a nice shot of the student section that made the drive up for Roger Bacon. Turnover. Golden Eagles quickly back down. Ball movement across the court, drive into the paint. Shot will not fall through for Brooklyn Hall. Struggle for control. Jalen Jackson comes up with it for Roger Bacon. Quickly down offensively. She's going to try the baseline drive. Puts a floater, it won't go. It's rebounded underneath by Greathouse.
Definitely got to do a good job by stopping ball. Because these guards like to get up and go.
Three-pointer goes up and falls in for Bellbrook.
It's going to be 2 points. Foot was on the line, I believe. Nice shot by her, though. Another bad pass.
Yeah, Roger Bacon's got to cut down on some of those youthful turnovers. Freudenschutz in traffic underneath, can't get her shot to fall. Her shots just aren't falling tonight so far in her limited playing time. Gonna have a foul called underneath.
If they're not careful, we'll be in the bonus by the end of the first quarter.
Yep. Cassidy Hofacker picks up number 1. That's the team 6 substitution on the way. Becca Vine, senior guard's going to check in. She's going to take the place of Brooklyn Hall on the floor for Coach Tenscher and the Golden Eagles. Approaching the 2-minute mark in the opening quarter. It's 12-6. Roger Bacon's had their opportunities, Frankie.
Yeah, you know, you just got to limit these turnovers the last few possessions.
Trying to feed that ball inside to Craig, and it's stolen away. Here come the Golden Eagles up and off the glass, and an easy layup for Brooklyn Hall. Or excuse me, that's Becca Vine. 14-6 now. Roger Bacon struggling for offensive answers.
Yeah, the last few possessions, it's been all turnovers.
Well, that trapping defense is something else for Bellbrook. Shot from just beyond 15 feet, nothing but net for Kylie Shepard.
Almost want to say she should have started. By the way, she's shooting.
6 points in the game now.
Another foul. Wow.
Now Shepard's going to be whistled for a foul. Her first, I believe that's team's 5th. So both teams with 5 fouls now at the 1:19 mark of the opening quarter. 14-8 in favor of Bellbrook. Glenn Olson and Frank Edwards with you. We've got a great crew on hand. Our producer Dean Lowry overseeing things from the truck.
Box out and get a rebound there.
Bellbrook trying to decide what to do. Going to drive in, physical contact, passing the ball off. Off-balance shot will not fall. Rebounded underneath. And Coach Tencher was trying to call timeout and couldn't get the ear of the official, so a jump ball is called, and it'll go to Roger Bacon. Nope, excuse me, it's going to go to Bellbrook.
Yeah, they got to do a better job of boxing out here. The last 2 possessions, Bellbrook's got the advantage.
A little bit of a loose ball there.
Should have saw that ball, it would have been a turnover.
Yeah, could have been an opportunity there for the Spartans. Nonetheless, Bellbrook gains on to control after the inbound.
Help side, no help side. Got lucky again.
A little bit of a push off there by
Another
Hofacker.
offensive rebound.
Prudenshoe still cannot find her shot here in the early going, and they're
Tough
counting on her contributing tonight. Another ill-advised pass results in a turnover. Hofacker brings it down. Struggle underneath, shot won't fall, rebounded by the Golden Eagles. And they're gonna say they had a foul before the shot.
Wow.
So that foul is gonna be on Kylie Shepard. That will be her second in the game. Checking back in is Kaylee Saunders for Roger Bacon, and Brooklyn Hall comes back into the game for the Golden Eagles. Just over 25 seconds to go, 14-8 in favor of Bellbrook out of the SWBL up in Greene County. Had a tremendous season, lost out on the league titles. We talked about it in our pregame in case you're tuning in late. But got revenge on Valley View in the tournament to set up this meeting with Roger Bacon. Bellbrook working the ball around the perimeter. Three-point shot goes up and just falls through. Brooklyn Hall is just killing Roger Bacon from beyond the arc tonight. Shot will not count. Your final at the end of, or your score at the end of one. Seems like we've had a game full of action. It's Bellbrook 17, Roger Bacon 8 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, Roger Bacon's got to make sure they get a hand at number 33's face, because every time she shoots, it looks like it's going in, and every time she shot it tonight, it has went in.
Well, there you saw the Roger Bacon huddle before a fan stood up right in the middle of our camera shot. But we're going to take a look at the bracket in this district and give you a look at how these teams came to get here. First, for our ICRC school, Roger Bacon, as we mentioned, beat Taft and then Northwest to advance to this district final. For Bellbrook, they beat Thurgood Marshall and then Chaminade Julienne, a GCL team, I guess you could say, before that rematch with Valley View that we talked about, who was the #1 seed in their sectional, to set up this district final here at Mason High School. As we mentioned, the winner of this game will go on to face the winner of the Franklin Carroll game later tonight at the conclusion of this game here at Mason, and that game will take place up in Springfield, Ohio next week. So it could be a little bit of a built-in advantage for Bellbrook should they emerge victorious. Get a little bit have to travel quite as far as Roger Bacon would travel if they end up winning the game. So 17-8, first 8 minutes are in the books, 24 more minutes of play to go. An exciting game so far, very quick paced. Bellbrook's defense has been aggressive, and there's another turnover by Roger Bacon.
I want to say that's the 4th turnover in a row going in from the end of the first quarter, so they're going to have to do a better job of not, unadvised. I mean, that was the 4th turnover in a row, and that's why they're down right now.
Substitution on the way for the Spartans. The next dead ball, Kelly Brenner checks in, but meanwhile, Bellbrook's back on defense. There's the tip ball. It's going to stay with Bellbrook, though. Brenner, there you see, trotting onto the court. Comes into the game. It'll be Bellbrook ball in front of the Roger Bacon bench. First 20 seconds have elapsed here in the second quarter. Coach Tencher, you may have heard on our headset microphone, calling out his UC offense. And boy, they play aggressive like the Bearcats, don't they, Frankie, on both ends of the court.
They do. They play really hard.
Long string of success, as we talked about in the top of our show. For Bellbrook, there's a floater in the lane, but it will not fall through for Hofacker. Here comes Roger Bacon.
Going to be happy with that. It was a high percentage shot, and even got an offensive rebound out of it.
Roger Bacon slowing things down a little bit, and now we get a double dribble called on Ava Caldwell. Bellbrook will inbound the ball. Kayla Paul handles those duties right in front of their own bench. 16 fouls now for Roger Bacon, just 5 for Bellbrook. Three-pointer.
Now they're just shooting lights out right now.
Cassidy Hofacker, 5 points in the game unofficially now, according to the score I'm keeping here at the table. Driving the lanes, passed up for a perimeter shot that's nothing but air. Shot would not fall for Ava Caldwell. Here comes Bellbrook.
Got to stop ball. It's way too easy.
Floater in the lane won't fall through for Hofacker. Three-pointer well off the mark. Roger Bacon lets it go out of bounds. Substitutions coming for the Spartans. Checking into the game are Shepard and Harris, so a couple of the starters back out on the floor. 20-8, 6:31 remaining in the first half.
Let's see if Roger Bacon can get themselves a good offensive possession here.
Yeah, patience hasn't been the name of the game in this game so far, but that's what Roger Bacon's going to have to do.
This high zone defense has been causing problems. And also you can see Bellbrook's one and done. They're boxing out. As soon as that missed shot, they're getting it and going.
Craig's shot would not go just inside the three-point line. It's rebounded by Bellbrook. Here they are down quickly. Bacon's going to have to make an adjustment for that wing player getting left open out on the perimeter, such as that. Luckily, that shot's off the mark. It's easily rebounded underneath by Craig.
Big shot.
Three-pointer.
They needed that. They were on a drought there for a few minutes, even from the beginning or the end of that first quarter, so they needed that shot.
Kelly Brenner
wide
gets a
open, though. You can't leave players wide open.
Yep.
It's going to drive the coach crazy. I mean, especially as Bellbrook team, you can tell they can shoot the ball really well.
Yeah, it's Becca Vine, and here goes Roger Bacon trying to play that frenetic pace again, or maybe patience might be in order here, but definitely not their style of play. Baseline drive results in another turnover. Here comes Bellbrook. It's 2-on-2. There's the pass off and an easy layup. It's going to fall through for Becca Vine. Coach Chessman's going to take a full timeout, which it's hard to disagree with that decision at this point in the game. Now that they've been doubled up and then some, they trail 25-11, Frank.
And I mean, part of it's not only these turnovers, but Bellbrook's also playing really well and shooting the ball really well. It's tough to say they could do this or do that, but when a team's playing very well, sometimes you just got to take your cap off, and that's why you got to call a timeout so you stop that momentum.
Well, definitely going to be a tall order for Roger Bacon to fight back into this game. There you see Coach Chessman. He was an assistant in the boys program, now in his second year in charge of the girls basketball program there at Roger Bacon High School. And you talked about a little bit ago, sometimes it's just a culture change and it takes a while to get through the program.
Yeah, and it's already a huge step forward for how far they are right now. I mean, when they look back on the season and say that, I obviously don't want them to lose tonight, they're going to look at this as a huge positive season from the past years before, so they'll build on that.
Yeah, 8 straight losing seasons before Coach Chessman took over. Now 2 straight winning seasons and deepest run in tournament play in recent memory for the Spartans for the girls program. We're used to the boys program making a run. They were off a little bit this year due to graduation and transfers and injuries and some other things like that have come up along the way. But time for the Lady Spartans to shine a little bit now that we're into March Madness on the high school level.
Right.
So back after the timeout, Lady Spartans with possession.
And I believe the girls moved up just the same as the boys this year. They used to be in Division III, and now they're up to Division II. So even to do it this year, tip the caps off to them because they've been used to playing in that Division III tournament.
Yep, three-pointer won't fall through for Jalen Jackson.
Just Bellbrook's one and done. They do a great job on boxing out.
Yeah, Bellbrook playing with a lot of confidence, to say the very least. After the season they've had and the tournament run they've had so far, and that revenge game against Valley View, I'm sure been a huge momentum boost for them. Substitution on the way for Roger Bacon. Kaylee Sunders, the senior, checks back in. She's going to take the place of Jalen Jackson out on the floor.
And then on the shooting end, I know Bellbrook on three-point land have not missed one. They've made all of them, but that's also a big reason why they're leading right now. They're shooting the ball really well.
So Brooklyn Hall, number 33 for Bellbrook on your screen a moment ago. She's got 3 three-pointers in the game so far. She's definitely got the hot hand. There's that baseline drive again for Roger Bacon. And Brenner's shot won't fall.
On the line.
And we're going to get a push. Foul is going to be called on Clarissa Craig. That's her second, the team's 7th, Frank.
Yeah, like we were talking about that first quarter, it was a lot of fouls.
There sure were. Bellbrook, after getting a bunch early, has slowed down a little bit. It's going to send Cassidy Hofacker to the free throw line. First shot on the way.
That looked nice.
Nothing but net. Lead widens to 15. You see Hofacker. There she is. Only got her into focus. Second shot falls through.
Biggest lead of the night so far. I mean, like I said, it's been slowly but surely, but they've just been playing really well. Bellbrook has.
Well, they have. They're obviously a talented team, and they play a tough schedule up in the Dayton area. They're not going to shy away from anybody. They actually played Beaver Creek. That shot falls through for Lyric Harris for 2 points. Beaver Creek, of course, playing Mason, another one of our ICRC communities, tomorrow in a district final game. So good basketball, Southwest Ohio and in Western Ohio in the Dayton area. Rare miss for Bellbrook. Deficit holds at 14. Roger Bacon quickly down. Even the lane won't fall through for Brenner. Rebounded by Bellbrook. Roger Bacon's just not been able to rebound on those offensive boards.
Wide open. That's the second time that's happened. That's just, they can't have that, especially this far along in the tournament. I mean, you see how well Bellbrook shoots the ball.
Yeah. Becca Vine picks up her second three-pointer of the game. Give her 8 so far. 80 your team's 30. That's saying something. You might want to put a body on her. Foul is called in the paint on the Roger Bacon drive by Shepard. Basket will count. And they're going to call Brooklyn Hall. Should be her second substitution on the way. Ava Caldwell checks into the game. Got that wrong. It was Greathouse, not Brooklyn Hall. She picks up her first foul. Shepard at the free throw line trying to finish the three-point play, which she cannot as the shot's off the back iron.
They got to try to chip away right now, but can't leave girls wide open, especially how they shoot the ball.
Well, you're surprised they haven't made that adjustment defensively, knowing how well Bellbrook is shooting from the perimeter tonight. I know they're getting caught up in switches, but somebody's got to get out there and get a hand in a face or something.
Someone's got a hedge, you know.
Roger Bacon being a little more aggressive here, nearly forced a turnover. If I can get it out. Greathouse able to track the ball down. Right back on offense, though. Nice move there by Hofacker to reset the offense. Brooklyn Hall passes it off. There's going to be a handoff over to Vine. Boy, Bellbrook's just playing keep away at this point.
Trying to find a good shot. I mean, that's what good teams do.
Drive in, lots of contact. It's going to be tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Bellbrook. No substitutions forthcoming. 2:15 to go in the second quarter. Glenn Olson and Frank Edwards here with you. High school hoops on ICRC-TV Sports. Bellbrook inbounds successfully. Hofacker passes it down to Vine.
Someone's got a defender. She's just going to...
Yeah, you don't want to leave anybody unattended on this Bellbrook team right now.
Right.
They'll be wearing oven mitts. Their hands are so hot. Bellbrook content just to pass it around on the perimeter, nurse this lead a little bit, playing keep away, playing patient offensive basketball. Play a lot more keep away though. We still got a minute 40 to go, and there's a foul called away from the ball.
It's tough.
Kylie Shepard picks up her third foul of the game, so assuming we're going to see that freshman go to the bench, which we do, Jalen Jackson will check back into the game. She's a junior. Take her place at the free throw lines, Olivia Greathouse.
And that's where a lot of their points have been coming from, so hopefully someone else can step up here and score for Bacon.
Shot will not fall through for Greathouse. 30-15, approaching the 1:30 mark of the second quarter. Roger Bacon needs some points on this possession. Sierra Ferguson set to check back in for Bellbrook if we get another dead ball. Almost a reach in there. Roger Bacon hangs on to possession. Boy, just a physical game, and the officials are letting them play, Frank. Lots of contact. And there's another ill-advised pass. Turnover. Brooklyn Hall's going to come down. She thinks better of taking it coast to coast. They'll reset the offense. A little bit of an elbow push off there. Referees let it go. Westbrook.
1 minute to go till halftime.
Hands the ball off the Vine.
Bellbrook is content with what they have right now, so they're going to try to probably, if they don't, they might just hold for the last shot here. We'll see.
I think you're right. Boy, Hall had a look out there, and she hasn't been missing. They elected get it inside a little bit more. Shot won't fall. Substitution on the way. Frudenschutz is going to check back in.
Bellbrook's defense is just causing a lot of trouble right now for Roger Bacon.
Frudenschutz and the aforementioned Ferguson into the game. 36.7 seconds remaining. A 15-point lead for the Bellbrook Golden Eagles out of the Southwestern Buckeye League. And they play in the Southwestern Conference of that league. It's Bellbrook ball. They'll be playing for the last possession undoubtedly unless Roger Bacon's able to force a steal. Got to watch it. She's really close to the timeline.
Yep.
Jackson can back her up a little bit. She could force a turnover. Bacon playing close defense.
There's a foul.
Yep.
It was a quick 5, but we're going to get a timeout here too by Bellbrook.
Timeout, yeah. 30-second timeout taken by Bellbrook with just 13 seconds to go.
I mean, to tell you the truth, Roger Bacon should be, I mean, it could be a lot bigger lead. I mean, if you've seen how this half's went and you didn't look at the score, you'd be like, oh, they're getting blown out. They could even get in here within only down 12 or 13. I mean, that's a win to me, especially how this game's went.
Right. First torn, and we're halfway through the timeout. So just thinking ahead to that second half, what is Roger Bacon going to have to do from an adjustment standpoint?
Well, they're definitely going to have to talk about how to penetrate their defense because it's causing a lot of problems. You know, they've probably not seen it all year. I mean, it's a great defense that Bellbrook puts on. They're going to have to figure out ways to penetrate it.
Westbrook's going to inbound the ball. Gets it in successfully to Hofacker.
Oh, wow, they kept the ball. I thought it was Roger Bacon's
Yeah,
ball,
no,
so.
they got the timeout called before that 5-second call that we thought had happened. Ferguson in all kinds of trouble underneath, and a travel is forced. Coach Chessman trying to get a quick timeout. He's going to get a couple of subs in. He's going to get Clarissa Craig in for sure to add some height.
You know, we see at .9, I was watching a college game last night. Virginia was down, .9, and Louisville traveled, and they won getting the ball back. It's amazing how a little much time on the clock, you can still score.
Well, all you got to do is get it hand for a quick shoot and release, right?
That was
they executed it well. The shot was just off the mark. So your score at the end of the first half is Bellbrook 30, Roger Bacon 15. Glenn Olson and Frank Edwards will be back with you for the second half of action in this Division II district final from Mason High School in just a moment. Caldwell has 2 fouls. Lyric Harris has 2 points and 2 fouls. Kelly Brenner has 3 points. And Clarissa Craig has 2 points and 2 fouls. For Bellbrook, who's had a dominating game so far, Cassidy Hofacker 9 points and 1 foul. Becca Vine has 10 points and 1 foul. Kayla Paul has 2 points and 1 foul. Olivia Greathouse 1 foul. And Brooklyn Hall 9 points on those 3-pointers, 1 foul. And Sierra Ferguson just 1 foul. What's Roger Bacon gonna have to do to get back in this game in a hurry, Frank?
They're definitely gonna have to take better control of the ball and get a hand in some of those shooters' faces. I mean, I want to say half their points were wide open shots, so they're gonna have to do a better job on defending.
Sometimes when a team is hot, it's tough to slow them down.
Right, but if you leave them wide open, it's gonna, especially at this stage of the game, usually players that's wide open and they're gonna nail it.
Roger Bacon's gonna have to find some answers here in a hurry if they want to extend their season. The clock has been reset to 8 minutes. It'll be Bellbrook ball on alternating possession on the far side of the court. In the second half of this District 1 Division II finals underway. Keep trying to bump them up to the Division 1. Roger Bacon's already been moved up a division this year, as you talked about in the first half. Looks like Roger Bacon's going to dial up the defensive intensity just a little bit on Bellbrook.
Help side. That's something that's driving me nuts. Roger Bacon's not doing a good job of help side stopping the ball. You know, when that DP, when he takes it to the hole or she takes it to the hole, someone's got to stop ball. Another turnover, threw it out of bounds.
So Bellbrook, after Kayla Paul had the first shot on that last possession, resulted in Roger Bacon bringing the ball down, gets a turnover, and Bellbrook will have a second offensive possession. Nice drive into the lane.
Like I was just saying that a minute ago. Someone's got to have help side to stop the ball, or it's just going to be a long night.
11 points in the game thus far for Hofacker. Roger Bacon wants to continue to try to make that baseline work, and that shot just will not fall for Kelly Brenner. And here comes Bellbrook down quickly with Hofacker kicking the ball out on the perimeter. Eagles will try a baseline drive of their own. Spin move won't fall. Rebounded easily by Ferguson. Shot falls through.
Timeout. Came out flat. That's what can't happen.
30-second timeout. It's taken by Coach Chessman. Just a minute and 11 seconds into the third quarter. So obviously something that they talked about in halftime didn't stick, or it's not working.
Well, it's just that it's like they forgot to come out of the locker room. Bellbrook's on fire right now. We're gonna get some replays of Bellbrook just taking it to the hole. Nice shot. Well, that was from last half.
The last half. But
there's been a lot of that anyway.
Kind of looks the same, yeah. It's been all Bellbrook, 34-15. Waiting to get the clock reset, and we do. 6:49 remaining in the third quarter after the 30-second timeout by Coach Chessman and the Spartans. Sunders is going to bring it down across the timeline. Roger Bacon just determined to play in the paint. Clarissa Craig with the spin move.
I was going to mention that in the first half because they didn't do it a lot, and I wanted to see her play a little more. But if they can get it inside to her, she's got great post moves. That was 2-on-1 there, and she made it look easy. So they need to do that a lot more.
Yeah, definitely agree.
A lot easier said than done, but that's something they need to focus on trying to do.
A little bit of an adjustment here at the scorer's table. Some confusion over who the foul was called on. And the foul is going to end up being called on Sierra Ferguson. That's going to be her second foul. There you see number 40, Clarissa Craig at the free throw line. She cannot complete the three-point play. Rebound underneath by Bacon and another quick whistle.
Rare offensive rebound there too. Bellbrook's done a great job on really all fronts of the game so far.
Substitution on the way for Bellbrook. Going to have Olivia Greathouse checking back into the game. And that foul was also called on Ferguson. She now has 3, Frank. Greathouse will come in and Ferguson will take a seat. 6:38 remaining in the third quarter. 2 quick fouls. It's going to send number 11, Lyric Harris, to the free throw line. 34-17. Second shot will not fall. Got to make those if you want to get back in this game. Boy, Bellbrook just plays with determination. There's no other way to say it.
Sides. That's brutal. That's what's this whole third quarter has point. What I was saying in that first half is someone's got to stop ball when she gets beat. Nice pass inside there.
There's Brooklyn Hall and down underneath and all kinds of traffic. Clarissa Craig, who draws another foul. Let's see who they get on this one, as there were about 3 hands reaching in on her. And the foul is going to go on number 30, Kayla Paul. That's going to be her second. So Clarissa Craig will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair, as you heard a public address announcer here at Mason say. A little bit of foul trouble for Roger Bacon, just to keep an eye on, as we talked about coming out of the half. Kylie Shepard, the freshman, has 3 fouls. She's out on the floor right now behind Craig near the timeline. 36-18.
Tough.
Second shot will not fall and easily rebounded by Bellbrook.
Wow.
Blocking foul is going to be called.
Nice try there. That's what you try to do there. Try to take a charge.
Brooklyn Hall drove into the paint, and she picks up a foul. Foul's going to be called on Jalen Jackson. That's her first foul. Hall at the free throw line. Gets the bounce.
You see the difference right now is who's making their free throws and who's not. He's also so far in this game. Just Bellbrook's got a really complete team that just had her feet. I thought her feet were set, but hey, like I said, it was a nice effort.
Threes aren't perfect. Second one, nothing but nylon though. 38-18, 6-11. Roger Bacon trying to dictate the tempo quickly. They'll kick it back out and reset the offense.
You can see what Bellbrook does a great job inside by trying to, they can't get it into her because she's triple teamed.
Three-pointer goes up, and that one will fall through for number 2, Kylie Shepard. 11 points in the game now for Shepard. Easy basket, uncontested.
She could have, that was just too easy.
Yep, way too easy that time for Olivia Greathouse, who gets her first 2 points of the game. It's 40-21. Might have got away with a walk there, but 19-point game. The referees will let that slide sometimes. Tussle for the ball in the lane. Ball will go to Bellbrook. Take a look at the replay. See the three-pointer go in. Then here comes the answer down underneath by Bellbrook. Bellbrook can't get the shot to fall. Roger Bacon quickly down the floor. No foul underneath as Kelly Brenner can't get her shot to fall. Bellbrook brings it down quickly.
They do a great ball by ball reversal. It's tough.
Boy, they just can't seem to miss tonight. So after a quiet first half by Greathouse in the scoring column, she's got 4 points already. And a travel is called on Roger Bacon, yet another turnover. They're doubled up 42-21 with 4:56 to go in the third quarter. A lot of youth on the way for this Spartans program.
Yep, bright future. This Bellbrook team's complete. I'm going to have to tell you that right now. They're one of the best girls team I've seen so far, especially in this level.
Coach Chessman's going to take a 30-second timeout. Just 2 seniors on the roster for the Spartans, Kaylee Sunders and Ava Caldwell. Other than that, lots of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors along the Spartans roster that you see on your screen at the moment. For Bellbrook, they're pretty junior laden. They've got a core of seniors: Farida, Hofacker, Vine, Painter, and Ferguson. So we called a lot of those names so far tonight. So they don't seem to rebuild. They seem to reload up there, though, in this Bellbrook girls program.
They do a great job on a lot of different ways of the basketball. Is where I love to see them is how well they box out real well. And on their offensive possession, look how crisp their passing is. That's why they shoot so well, because it all starts well how you receive the ball, and that's something they do really well.
Hard to disagree with anything you just said, Frank. Doesn't make for good TV, but it's the truth.
Right, I know they're not one of our teams, but I love to see some good basketball, and something that they do really well.
Paul's shot won't fall. Roger Bacon comes up with the ball that bounces into the hands of Clarissa Craig. They're going to try to cut this deficit down after the timeout. Coach Chessman burning timeouts early, trying to get his team back in before it gets to be way too late. But another turnover Bacon putting a little bit of pressure on, but now they'll back off into a half-court defense.
Oh, nice
there's
steal.
a steal there by the freshman. Easy layup. Give her 2 more points. That's Kylie Shepard.
Not been many of those tonight.
Yeah. 13 points in the game for Shepard. She's got 13 of their 23 and just a freshman. But unfortunately, if you're a Roger Bacon fan, there was an unattended 3 put up by Hall that didn't fall. It's one of the few times she's missed tonight. But somebody else is going to put one through for
I'd
Bellbrook.
love to see their numbers right now, especially from the 3-point line.
Bacon's going to try to answer with the 3 of their own, but it's not going to fall. That last 3 got put through by Becca Vine.
Nice pass.
Vine adds 2 more to her collection. Boy, you just can't make any mistakes against this Bellbrook team. None at all. They make you pay every time.
Nice play.
Going to be 2 more points in the game there for Lyric Harris.
See, Roger Bacon's got to do a better job by finding their man on getting back on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said it a few times. It seems like, I don't know if someone's missing an assignment, because you see how Bellbrook shoots the ball. You leave him wide open, it's going in.
Yeah, it was definitely an issue in the first half. We talked about just getting caught out of position on defense, leaving an open shooter. And Bellbrook will make you play. They're deadly, especially from perimeter shooting. Ball is inbounded. Hall's going to end up with it, bounce it around, put it back in the hands of Vine.
Nice
Vine
pass.
drives the paint, hands it off. An easy bucket.
That was a great pass, too. I mean,
2 more points for Olivia Greathouse after a quiet first half. She's got 6 points in the second half thus far. Roger Bacon may be more advised to, it's going to be a charge called that time on Clarissa Craig. So that'll be her 3rd personal foul. She will take a seat and be replaced in the game by number 5, Ava Caldwell.
here's a replay here.
Yep.
Yep,
just
I
that
guess
shoulder.
she had that shoulder there.
Get that shoulder, they'll get
Look
that
how
to you.
quickly they're so crisp with the they pass the ball so well.
They do. Rare miss by Bellbrook, but they come up with the rebound nonetheless. Floater in the lane will not fall. Great job underneath by Hall to come up with it, and Bellbrook will reset their offense. Dribbling back up top to reset is Hofacker. Hands it off to Vine. Vine out to Hall. Hall back up top to Hofacker. Hofacker's going to drive into the paint, put up a floater, and it falls through. 13 points in the game now for Hofacker, approaching the 2-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Things looking very bleak for Roger Bacon at the moment. They trail by 26 points and haven't been able to find any consistent offensive answers here in the second half. 3-pointer off the mark. No clean rebound underneath. Bellbrook comes up with it. Roger Bacon's going to try to dial up the defensive intensity before settling back into their half court. Shepard's going to come out and try to put some pressure on the ball, but Bellbrook's still able to get it down into their offensive half court with ease. Trying to force the issue a little bit is Kelly Brenner.
Going to get a timeout.
Coach Stincher's going to take a 30-second timeout. So with 1:27 remaining, it's 51-25 in favor of Bellbrook. Coach Stincher wants to call a timeout and talk things over after Roger Bacon putting a little pressure on the basketball, something we haven't seen a lot of tonight out of the Spartans.
I mean, Bellbrook's just, they've had a great, they're, just the way they've played tonight's been great to watch. But, they've executed. If they're open, they shoot the ball and they've been making, they've done all the small things right too. And that's why we have, it's not necessarily Roger Bacon's playing real poorly. Bellbrook's just a very good team.
Kaylee Summers, the senior, is going to check back into the game for Roger Bacon during the timeout.
And they've shot the ball really well. They've been...
Understatement of the day.
Right.
See what Bellbrook changes up after the timeout to respond to the defensive
It all goes
pressure.
through number 21. You can see how, they got, this is what you want as a team. As a coach, they have all the pieces right now.
Yep. Not a weak link on the floor that's visible to a layman's eye, that's for sure.
Yeah,
travel Yeah. Vine held on to
Jinxed
it
him a
just
little
a
bit there. I
second.
guess
Well,
I need to say that a little more.
That's just the momentum.
It's going to happen. I'll tell you that right now.
It's just a momentum thing. She got an extra step in there before she got the ball out of her hands. Lyric Harris inbounds it, gets it over to Shepard. Bacon thought about that baseline drive. They're going to go back out and play some perimeter ball. There's the senior Sunders. They get it back into the hands of their freshman who's going to drive in and draw a foul. Shepard will go to the free throw line.
That's something also to note with that freshman, Roger Bacon. There's a bright future for them. I mean, you know, they're just going to get better and better as each year goes on because she doesn't play like a freshman.
Kayla Paul picks up her third foul. I mentioned it's going to send Shepard to the free throw line to shoot a pair. Substitutions will be forthcoming after the shot. First free throw won't fall, and we're going to get 3 of them, 4, 5, and 44. That's Freudenschutz, Westbrook, and Ferguson all back into the game for Bellbrook. Roger Bacon's just not had a good game at the free throw line tonight. It's not helped their cause any, in addition to playing a very hot Bellbrook team. Second shot again will not fall.
You said it perfectly.
Ball will go to Roger Bacon. Rare turnover for Bellbrook. You heard Coach Stincher probably in our headsets here yelling, grab the ball. Well, it's going to stay with Bellbrook. Excuse me, it was last off of Roger Bacon. Not much of a press being put on by the Spartans, but Bellbrook able to beat it easily, almost a reach in there from behind for Shepard. Bellbrook able to reset their offense yet again. Well, you got Freudenschutz just standing all by herself down in that coffin corner, daring Sunders to come out and guard her should she end up with the ball. Almost like Bellbrook's toying with Spartans a little bit, almost nearly on the timeline there. I think if we had an official standing there, Roger Bacon might have gotten that call. Bellbrook hangs on to it nonetheless. Drive in, shot base from the baseline, shot won't go. It's going to be off the hands of Ava Caldwell.
Right now, I'll tell you this, Bellbrook definitely feels great where they're sitting in the tournament too, because the winner of this game and the next game, they beat both those teams. They beat Franklin handily both games, and they beat Carroll by 10.
Yeah.
And
deep three at the buzzer will not fall for Hofacker.
Put it this way, I'm shocked it didn't go in by the way they're shooting.
51-25 at the end of 3, a 21-point quarter for the Golden Eagles, just 10 for Roger Bacon. It's not a good recipe to get back into the game. They take a look at our TV replay schedule for our Spectrum and Optics customers, and of course you can always find our programming on demand at ICRC-TV.com, ICRC-TV.com. Frank, any hope for Roger Bacon to make this somewhat competitive in the fourth quarter?
No, you know, this is, you know, it's going to sound kind of, I guess, bland in a way, but you got to tip your cap off. You need to go out there and play hard, but this Bellbrook team, I believe, is going to be the Southwestern District champion, I believe. If they play this way, and, I mean, just the way they play on defense and do the small things, but Roger Bacon has nothing to, you know, put their head down with, because this is a really good team they've went up against, and it's going to be a bright future. You know, they got the freshmen, and just got to keep playing hard. You know, leave it out on the floor, especially for any of the seniors out there. You got to do it for them, because this is their last go-round.
Well, you got 8 more minutes to try to add to your legacy for the Spartans, and maybe try to make this game look better on paper.
Or just come out there and play hard. You know, just don't fold up.
Yep. Lots of lessons to be learned for a very young team. As we mentioned, only 2 seniors on the roster for the Spartans. There's a three-pointer going to go up and be just a little bit
how well
off
they
the mark
box out.
for Brenner.
Just do what they do. I mean, it's like I said, the boxing out and their defensive pressure, and just, I mean, there's a lot of things that they do that, you know, do really well. That, I mean, hats off to the coach and how they play, because I've enjoyed watching how they execute.
Greathouse checks into the game for Ferguson, for Bellbrook. We're into the first 20 seconds here of the final quarter for Mason High School. Division II district final. Three-pointer
all night.
Falling through in the quarter once again for Brooklyn Hall.
She's definitely been one of their top shooters, and when she's open like that, just makes it that easier.
4 3-pointers in the game. She's got 6 points in the half. Roger Bacon able to answer with a 3-pointer of their own by Kelly Brenner. She's got 6 points, both coming via the 3. Bellbrook, we've said a lot, back down into their offensive half court quickly.
Leaving
Nice
wide
pass.
open again.
Yep.
Just, you can't.
You're going to leave her open. She's going to keep shooting it.
It's frustrating a little bit because I know how well she shoots, but she's been shooting them wide open.
Yep. 5 3-pointers and answered by Bacon will not fall. 3-pointer was put up by Brenner. Bellbrook comes up with the ball. There's a struggle underneath, and that's going to be a travel on the roll as there was some contact at midcourt, and Hofactor got tripped up, maybe a little bit of momentum at play as well. Lyric Harris checks back into the game for Roger Bacon. She'll take the place of Ava Caldwell, one of the seniors who will take a seat on the bench.
Probably said, just please guard number 33, please.
Get a hand in her face or something. I mean, she's been an assassin.
She's hit
out
at
there
least
all
6
night.
threes, I know, offhand. And look how well they box out. I mean, it's just everything they do is, they do a lot of the little things really well.
It's going to be a hard foul that time, and that one's going to be called on Kelly Brenner, the sophomore. It'll be her first foul. Team's 4th of the half.
That SWBL league must be a very tough league because I'm surprised they didn't win it by the way they play. I mean,
well, it was just Valley View. Valley View's been their nemesis. They lost to Valley View twice in the regular season.
well,
by 5
rivals
points,
can do that, you're right.
and then came back and got them in the tournament. That's a carry that's going to be called.
If you were to look back, you should see her in the corner, she's wide open again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, when do you learn your lesson? When she
Right.
hits her 10th three?
Yeah. Well, you know, the logic normally goes, you know, guard her, you know, until she makes, or until she misses, and she's not missing. That's going to be a blocking foul.
Right.
Underneath. So that foul will be called on number 30, Kayla Paul, for Bellbrook. That's her 4th foul, team's 5th of the half. Sorry about the confusion there.
Look how, see how well, I mean, it's going to sound like I'm a Bellbrook fan, but it's just how they play the game.
Yeah.
It's just really impressive. They box out.
Shepherd's 3-pointer won't go. Ball's tipped out of bounds down in the far corner, the top right of your screen. It'll stay with the Spartans.
Because what I'm going to say here is even if they wouldn't have shot the ball as well as they have tonight, they'd still be winning this game by the way they play defense and box out.
Good learning lesson for Roger Bacon. Hate to see the season end, but you're a Spartan fan, but it's still a good learning lesson for a very young team.
I mean, they had to move up a division to play, and I know that's difficult alone. And then they've made it this far, and it has been a while since they've done that. So, I mean, like I said, it was going to be, no matter what happens this game, it's been a great year. A building block.
Wholeheartedly agree. And good things yet to come. They finished 3rd in a tough GCL co-ed down in their division. Some speculation in the paper today that the Spartans might be looking to the Miami Valley Conference.
Wow. Who?
Roger Bacon.
Really?
Yeah. Well, all the teams in our division are in Butler County or North. They don't have any Cincinnati area
Purcell
opponents.
Marion.
So, well, and Purcell's kind of in the same boat. Followed down underneath by Clarissa Craig to pick up 2 more points, but the thinking is just cut down the drive time and establish some local rivalries. Yeah, it's tough on those kids to travel all the way up to the northern part of Butler County or the southern part of Dayton to play basketball and then be a student.
I've coached at a school that was in a different county that had to travel all the way over, you know, Western Brown was a league game, you know. It's like, wait, you're not getting home until 11:30 and the kids are in junior high. It makes you scratch your head a little bit.
Yeah. Kylie Shepard picks up foul number 4, so a couple of substitutions on the way. Kayla Sunders is going to check in along with Ava Caldwell for Roger Bacon. 5:12 to go, 27-point lead for the Golden Eagles of Bellbrook. As we mentioned, we'll be playing the winner of the Franklin Carroll game that's going to take place About 40 minutes upon conclusion of this game here at Mason High School tonight, and that game will take place up in Springfield, Ohio next week. Bellbrook going to dial back the offensive intensity just a touch. Maybe put a touch rule in effect before a shot goes up. But there's
that one was a little better. They had a little pressure on it.
Yeah. And it obviously impacted her shot. Chris Fincher's looking for a foul. I don't think he's going to get it. And a whistle down away from the ball.
Wow.
That's going to be a foul on number 40, Clarissa Craig. And that's going to be 4 fouls for her. Team's 5th of the half. So a couple of the engines that make the Spartans team go, Shepard and Craig both have 4 fouls. Craig's going to stay on the floor though. Can't afford to give up her height. She's 6'2" and a freshman. Gotta think she's got a little more height left in her, right?
Right.
Just being a freshman. Bellbrook just takes care of that ball very well. They respond to pressure. They respond to physical contact. Speaking of physical contact, and they just keep on driving. Body on the floor, we'll dribble over them.
And you get an offensive foul here.
That foul is going to be the first of the game on Danny Westbrook.
Well, it is a 27-point lead here. I mean, the coach is still kind of coaching, complaining a little bit. I'm like, well, it's got to me right now. It's already, it's closed up.
Destiny Bird checks in the game. There's a great shot in the screen of Cassidy Hofacker.
Offense goes to her. She's a great point guard.
Yeah. 13 points in the game so far for Hofacker. Came into this game averaging 4.6 assists. So to your point, all the offense goes through her. She's fished them up tonight. 3-point shot for Roger Bacon will fall through, and that's 3 3-pointers in the game for Kelly Brenner. She's got 9 points. Kind of ready to get the ball to her a little more, Frank.
Right. Like I said, it's a lot. There's not been a lot of wide open shots for Roger Bacon.
Turnover, rare turnover. It's going to stay with Roger Bacon. Coach Chessman not going to dial back the intensity, even though he's got a 24-point lead.
Right.
One of those players kind of complaining a little bit. He says, well, catch the ball.
Nice shot.
3-point shot is going to fall through for Jalen Jackson. It's her first points of the game unofficially. So it's going to be a full timeout.
Full timeout.
Coach Chessman has exhausted his supply of 30-second timeouts. 3:22 to go in this one, Frank. It's all but elementary, but Roger Bacon is starting to show some signs of life, but a little bit too late here at this point in the game.
And like I said, this Bellbrook team has been lights out, shooting the ball, and just, boxing out. Like all the little things you want your team to do, they do it. And that's why we have this score the way it is right now. When I look back a few weeks from now to see how far Bellbrook, I'll be shocked if I don't see them playing for the Southwestern District to represent this district.
Take a minute to recognize our crew: producer Dean Lowry, director Nate Capana, technical director Andrew Aronoff, replay Larry Nelson. Appreciate you guys coming out, giving us some good shots of this game tonight. Graphics, Matt Steele, Junio Villarreal on camera, Aiden Friday, Keith Spilly, Elvis Mahan. Special thanks to the Mason City School District, those schools' athletic departments for allowing us to host this game.
Don't want to foul her. Nice defense there by Roger Bacon.
Where was this intensity early on, I guess? Probably an unfair thing to say, but this is what they needed. The kind of fire they needed to play with. Kaylee Sunders is going to pick up a foul underneath. Be her first of the game. It's going to send Greathouse to the free throw line.
Right when you think, like you said, the intensity, but just Bellbrook did a great job by finding the open man underneath. Free throws have been just picture-perfect type of game you want to see out of your team if you're, wanting to play. Because, they've shot the ball well, and that's not even where I thought was the big point. It was all just how well they boxed out and played defense.
Both free throws are good. 8 points in the game for Greathouse. Pressure being applied on Sunders as she brings the ball down, able to fight through it. A little bit of contact. Push back towards that timeline before she's able to find a lane to dribble through. But Bellbrook just doing a great job of taking away those passing lanes inside the arc.
And this is just straight up man-to-man now.
Floater, will not fall, rebounded underneath, Bacon resets. Three-pointer on the way. And that's the fourth three-point shot of the game for Kelly Brenner, 12 points.
And Bacon shot really well from the three-point line too tonight. They're down by 20 still. And here comes another rare miss by her.
Rare miss by Brooklyn Hall, yeah. She comes up with the ball, floater in the lane, and she draws a foul. She'll go to the free throw line and shoot it there. It's going to be the first foul of the game, called on Destiny Bird, the junior center for the Spartans. And as we mentioned, it's going to send Brooklyn Hall to the free throw line. 18 points in the game unofficially for Hall.
Wow, that's a rare.
Didn't fall through. Kayla Paul is going to check in. 2 points in the game. A bunch of fouls for Kayla Paul at this point. Got her with 4 unofficially. Paul's second free throw is good. 60-39, a 21-point lead for the Bellbrook Golden Eagles out of the SWBL. Roger Bacon starting to make things a little more respectable. Three-pointer will not fall. Rebounded by Bellbrook. Going to break through the Bacon defense, get the ball down into their offensive half court. Playing keep away from Roger Bacon at this point. Bacon's going to have to foul.
Yeah, I think it's like you said,
they want to get this deficit under 20. They're going to have to foul. Baseline drive won't go through for Brooklyn Hall. Bacon getting some breaks. Three-pointer goes up. Just tickling the nylon. Jalen Jackson, her second three-pointer of the game, both coming here in the second half. 60-42. Deficit down to 18. It's going to be a foul called on Roger Bacon's Kaylee Sunders. I believe that's going to be number 3 on her. It'll be 17 fouls. It's going to be in the bonus. The rest of the way, excuse me, that'll be her second foul. Substitution for Roger Bacon. Sarah Duguid, a junior guard, checks in. A couple more substitutions on the way. Shania Fig and Joey Lowell, both juniors, will check in for Roger Bacon. And here come the subs. Maria Mesher comes into the game for Bellbrook. And Aaron Fruinshoes is going to check back in as well. Making an appearance in the game will be Gigi Painter, a senior, along with Brooke Pincher. All kinds of new names.
just underclassmen coming in now.
I even think our official scorer got confused by who all came in there. Boy, that was just wholesale substitutions, to say the least. Free throw will not go. Rebound underneath. The officials in my way. I can't see what happened. Those officials always seem to get right in my angle of the basket.
That's just another offensive rebound there by Bellbrook.
So that foul will be called on Destiny Bird. That's her second foul. So we send Gigi Painter to the free throw line. Chance to get her name in the scoring column tonight.
Another offensive rebound.
Wow, it's been a broken record, Frank. I mean, Roger Bacon's not been able to get an offensive rebound all night, it seems. I mean, rebounds in general have been tough to come by, but especially offensive, especially on
any front.
Any front, yeah. Trying to think about it. Yeah, you're right, from any front. Prudy shoots the shot, won't fall. There's a struggle for control underneath. They're going to hang on to the ball and call a jump ball. Ball will stay with Bellbrook underneath their own basket. 48 seconds to go and an 18-point lead for the Golden Eagles. Sub on the way, Danny Rest West block, pardon me, check in the next dead ball. Frudenshoe strides to the basket, give it 2 more. Actually, it's our first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, he makes the scoreboard.
2:42 to move back to 20 for the Golden Eagles. Roger Bacon, chance to get it back under 20. They can get some points here. Traveling's called, that's not going to help. More substitutions. Checking into the game, Danny Westbrook, as we mentioned. Anna Murs for Roger Bacon. Comes into the game, Murs, a sophomore guard. The coaches do a nice job of emptying their benches and letting their players get some playoff experience here in this district final. Nice bounce pass. Looks just going to play keep away. 3-pointer goes up and falls through for Maria Mesher.
So you're on, as a team, you're on.
Yep. And that will be the final. 65 to 42. Bellbrook wins in dominating fashion.
Yeah, just tip the caps off to that team. And as an organization, the way they play, I mean, like I said, they've got a fan with me watching them the next few rounds because they've got a great team.
Well, congratulations to Coach Chessman and his Roger Bacon Spartans. It's been a fantastic year for them. Second straight winning season.
Just got to
Coach
build on it.
Chessman in his second year after 8 straight losing seasons. So, as we've talked about a few times, the future definitely looks bright.
Big time
for Roger Bacon. We said it a couple times, in case you're tuning in late. Winner of this game will go on to face the winner of the Franklin Carroll game after this.
And they're taking home medals. I mean, like I said, there's something, a lot of teams are at home right now, they don't get to take home, and they made it this far. Like I said, it's to get accolades. It's something to build on. They made it this far, and it's a great year. They just ran into a juggernaut.
Well, for our producer, Dean Lowry, my partner, Frank Edwards, I'm Glenn Olson. We appreciate you tuning into this special edition High School Hoops on ICRC-TV Sports. We'll see you next time. Take care.